We don't have to fit in, like we can just be ourselves. And we are miracles because our ancestors survived and we're here. And it took me a while to see that. We're gonna hold a small ceremony and really bless the fire, thank the fire, and burn away anything that we feel called to. Maybe write it down and throw it into the fire.
It's very hard when you move away from the family to keep up with your tribe's traditions and things like that. It's so easy for them to fade away.
Well, you're strong Indigenous women, and I feel like this is definitely a time for our voices to be heard. I've always sort of been soft-spoken and the peacekeeper, but through that I noticed like I was like raped and molested and like all these really terrible things, and I grew through it. I think with more meetings of Native American women, it is shifting because we all have similar stories and we can all hear it and know that we're not alone in this battle. This year, I really feel just the anger coming up. It's like I can't hold it in anymore. It has to come out. I just want to yell and scream and be like, hey, we're here and fucking stop. Like, we're really sacred. And the fact that we're even here and our ancestors survived is really a miracle. This is my house. I grew up here until I was 7. I was a really feisty little kid. I was really outspoken and said exactly what was on my mind all the time. My mother is Kiowa and Comanche, and my father is Havasupai and Kumeyaay. I don't know anyone else who is those 4 combinations of tribes. Here was sort of the spot that I hung out the most. And climb up there, and I remember when Pocahontas came out, and I like would stand on the rock, and I'm like, I'm Pocahontas. Growing up in such an age of pop culture and things, I sort of lost that sense of the tradition. Since I grew up a lot outside of the reservation too, I sort of felt like I had to adapt. When I just sat down with my Comanche family and heard the songs, like I felt like I was transported back into the ancient ways. When I reconnected to ceremony, I reconnected to my innocence and that feeling like, wow, anything is possible. We're about to meet with Rissa, my cousin, and we're going to do a little bit of water release therapy that is used to really help PTSD and physical pains and mental illnesses. The water amplifies everything. It amplifies the energy and frequencies and transmute it into love, sort of, yeah.
Hi, my name is Melissa Hill, and I am from the Villas Reservation. As I was growing up, I was definitely into the partying, the drinking, the drugs. The alcohol and drug abuse is just a symptom of what really happened to our people. And that is genocide, intergenerational trauma. They beat and raped and killed the spirit out of us. They tried to anyway. So along with this whole path of destruction, I'm gonna try to be that break where it's like, no, I'm not gonna pass this on to my kids. I'm gonna try to heal myself the best that I can to the best of my abilities. Afterwards, I felt like I finally was able to release whatever I was holding on to. I was crying about how our people are still lost. They still don't have their identity, that connection to be able to be human.
I really felt like our ancestors in past lives and everything coming up and holding the space for you at the same time. Feeling everything that you've gone through. I'm thankful for you.
Oh, I'm thankful for you too.
My grandma She got this for me. It says Kumeyaay, West Coast native. That's the tribe I'm from. She got it over here at the tribal hall. I don't know the dude that made it, but he's Native American as well. We get like named by like animals for our middle names. So like my middle name is Bear. I think it's pretty cool.
My middle name is Wild Horse. I like that a lot. You can say these words in Kumeyaay. It's just you'd have to personally for me, I gotta have to learn them. My generation and then the generation behind me, we don't know a lot of our own words. And that just shows you how little Native Americans are with their culture.
I always sort of grew up with powwow. Every weekend I was going to dance, and I think when I was a teenager, around 13, 14, I was sort of I want to explore outside of this, and then so I sort of rebelled, and then I was like, wow, that was a bad idea, because now I have a lot to catch up on. Things are always sort of evolving.
I'm very proud of her. She's very special. She always has been. When she dances, it's just beautiful. Hey, puppy. Dance strong, dance for your people.
So these are my moccasins, and I brought my Fenty Puma shoes. I'm always being told don't be so materialistic, but they just make me feel so good. I'm really excited to go to this powwow, and also a little nervous because I haven't been in a while. I feel like everything's gonna fall into place as soon as I get there. It's like this energy you can't feel anywhere else. We're at the Spotlight 29 powwow. And when we go in, we're gonna see vendors and people dancing around a drum. Right now they're doing the contests. People, they sort of do a tour of powwows and try to win the cash prizes or just reconnect with other tribes.
This is my dad's beadwork, so every time I wear it, it's just real sacred to me. I feel his spirit and stuff, and honored to, be able to keep your tradition alive and dance.
When they're doing the hard beats and the hopping, that's more of really almost like summoning up their power.
This is how we met, actually, when we were 10 years old.
And we've been friends
ever since. The stuff that we wear, everything is a lot more modernized. So, for example, I got these skirts off of Amazon.
And it has to be more flashy now since it's better competition.
It's more contemporary these days.
Anything you do to catch the judge's eye.
For a moment, I got really hypnotized. Just sitting there and watching them and watching their foot movements, and I could really see how they were moving energy with their dance moves and with all their tools, and it was beautiful.
When we were younger, we were taught by our grandparents, and our dad grew up like that too, getting the teaching and all that involved in the bird singing and dancing.
For me, it's a very powerful, I would even say spiritual moment and uplift that you get.
These days we wear dresses that have ribbons on them. The colors, we have a different meaning to our group. The blue represents the water, the red represents the dirt and the blood. Feels like we're sharing what we've got because that's the only thing we have. We got our traditions, our dances, and our moves.
Expressing how we are as Native people kind of shows that there's more to us than just having long hair. It just shows as us people that we are as one and that we are still here.
So where are we going? We're going to Trilogy Sanctuary, and it's right near the beach. Misty from the Res is also coming. We grew up together and watching Spice Girls and all sorts of things in the 90s. Yeah.
This bond that we all have is just, it's amazing. It's electrical, and it's just everything that I want to be surrounded by all the time. I want to be surrounded by positivity, energy, light, creativity, all of it. So that my family, my culture, being here to express it is what I've always wanted.
We're still here, we're still fighting, we're still doing our traditions, we're still doing our prayers, still doing our ceremonies.
My grandfather told me a story. He was walking and there was like two paths, one like really rocky and the one clear path, but he heard like a rattlesnake in the clear path, and then he just like ran to the rocky path until he was home. I saw it like sort of as a metaphor, like, oh, sometimes you just gotta run through the rocky path.